We'll call this meeting of the Coomers and Toltec Scenic Railroad Commission to order Saturday, May 3rd, 2025 at 9:02 a.m. I will remind you, if you didn't sign in, to please sign in. We don't have our normal greeter there to sign everybody in, so if you didn't sign in, please do. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to recognize Mayor V. Hill sitting in the far back over there. Really appreciate use of your facility. Thanks a lot.
Anytime, sir.
Yes, thank you.
Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
Mr. Chairman, I would like to make a motion to approve the agenda with the following corrections or changes. Let's flip number 7, marketing report, to number 6, and financial from 6 to 7. And then we need to table the audit presentation at this time.
Any other changes? Can I get a motion to approve the agenda as amended, with 6 becoming 7, 7 becoming 6, and tabling 13A?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes of the November 2nd, 2024 regular commission meeting as presented?
So moved.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Superintendent's report, Mr. Marvin. How are you?
Good.
Good to see you.
You too. Noticed you're here today. We've had an interesting winter, you know. On the shop side of things, you know, we'd stayed working on all our equipment. You know, we got our passenger cars pretty much ready for opening day. We'll try to move those cars across on the 21st, so to get the Chama consist over here. And I do plan on doing an early departure on that. So that's what's coming up on that. We're still working a little bit on the new coach that we're trying to we're building. We got a few siding issues that we have, and but I think by the end of the week those will be taken care of, and we should be able to start shooting some paint on it next week, the week after next week. You know, so that's that. We have started staging our equipment for when we start doing all this brush cutting. And Market Forestry will be the one doing the brush cutting. We will be starting at milepost 295.3, and we'll move westward. And we'll keep on going westward till we run out of funds. And that's how we'll handle that procedure. So that's where we're on that. We do have the track line opened all the way. You know, we got cleared. Rocks was a lot of the main issue, but that was taken care of. The OSHA road, I figured we weren't going to have no snow. Well, believe me, we have snow, but it's only on the road. That's the only place we have it, you know. But it's not much. We are going to clean that up between Monday and Tuesday. I'll be going in with the loader to get that opened up so we can get it dried up so we can start getting some work done in there. So that's going from there. We located a lot of motor car parts down in Texas, and we're having to go grab them and bring them back. We got one more load to haul back, which probably about the middle of next month. It's probably when we'll do it. Get the last load in. But that's helped us because we've been able to get 2 more cars that we can add to the fire force, and I think that's where we need to help right now. So that's what's been going on. That we'll start doing all this brush cutting. They will be on site on Wednesday, the 7th, and they're gonna stage all their stuff right there at milepost 305, because they're gonna have all their equipment there, and they're gonna camp there so that they can watch the stuff at night. On the weekends, they will be hauling their stuff down to the ant needle yard for safekeeping. So depending on what stuff they bring and how they have it, we might have to set up a night watchman on the weekends over there to take care of their stuff. But that's something that we'll work on as we're going. So that's that. On the track side of things, we moved the phone booths for the friends, so we got them set up so they can keep doing their work. We built a section of track for them at the CRF, and that's ready for them to pour concrete on. And we worked with the fire plant a little, and worked the Forest Service on what's going on there. So that's going on that, and we're waiting to see what happens on the Long Creek repair, and we're going to see how soon we can get involved with that, so we can get that taken care of as quick as possible. Okay. The locomotive side of things, we had FRA in town this past week, and all our boilers checked out good. We have a few things to take care of on some running gear, but that's stuff that we can take care of ourselves. So that'll go along as we're going. It's not going to be a fast process, but we'll get it worked on, and so we'll do everything we can to take care of that. But we should be able to have some locomotives ready for opening day. So, everybody wants to know about locomotive 114. Locomotive 114 should get the oil cooler and water pump installed tomorrow, and hopefully we can do a electronics test, complete test, and operational test on it on Monday and Tuesday, and see how soon we can get that into service, so we can start moving some rock, test it out exactly what we can use it for. So that's pretty much what I got for now.
Very good. And to note that the mitigation was a $500,000 appropriation from Colorado, and that'll be really helpful, especially this year. And the work is going to be completed by when?
They're hoping that they're out of there around the 15th, 20th of June. But
that's awesome.
But I have been talking to the management people, and they assured me that they will have all this stuff done by fiscal year end. So they
Very
know I
good.
have a deadline. So
And congratulations on the boiler inspections. That's fantastic.
You got good cruise people. You know they know they got to work, and they know when to get to work. You know, and I myself, I was surprised how much they did. You know, and what they had to accomplish at the time they had. You know, and they all seem to be happy doing work. So
Yes,
that's
very.
fun, you know. Okay.
Questions? Comments?
I was just going to comment, the boilers are, as you know, at least 100 years old. Some of them older than that. And as I start to move closer in that direction, I hope my boiler stays
Exactly.
pass the inspections as well.
Well, Marvin, the feedback I've heard, the working relationship with both Rio Grande National Forest and Carson National Forest associated with the fire mitigation work, that's just been an example of the way to collaborate and work together and minimize the fire danger along the right-of-way. So congratulations on the way you've put that together. Thank you.
Well, it wasn't only me. I mean, I had all my people helping in on that. You know,
I know you did, but
it's not a one-person deal. It takes all of us.
Anything else? Thank you.
Thanks, Marvin.
Yeah. Marketing?
Marketing. As you can see, our marketing leadership is not with us today. She's somewhere in Kentucky, I understand. Got an event to attend this afternoon, so more power to her on that. I'll try to cover a little bit about where she is. She got a lot going on. She probably needs a day off to go to Kentucky, but obviously this is the time of year when we ramp up very heavily to get the marketing effort to get people here. I think in terms of direction, as a summary, she continues to move more and more to the digital side. We're seeing pretty good track-through rates. Some of the data that we're able to obtain says that it is effective. You never know totally what is going to come out until people show up on the doorstep. But in general, that is a movement that'll continue, and I think is paying some results. Some interesting things I think that are part of that, though, is watching where the direction is. I know the website traffic, which is predominantly U.S., though the trend is sort of interesting, and it's a lot of the foreign hits are actually down a bit. Whether that's reflective of situation in Washington or anything else, we don't know. There is anecdotal information that foreign interest in like the Durango and Silverton is down. So we haven't seen it in our advanced reservations as yet, but that's another one of those looming concerns. But overall, I think we're on a successful ramp. I had concerns about some of the economic issues that the country's facing might be a downer, but as we look right now, our advanced reservations are actually up about 7%, and the revenue is actually up more because of some of the adjustments in ticket pricing. So if there are ramifications, they haven't shown up as yet. Now it's early, so correlation is not very strong. It'll get better as we get closer to the season, but the initial indications are that we're not being affected by some of the other outside factors that we feared, and keep our fingers crossed and hope it stays that way. So with that, I'd ask, do you have any questions? I'll write them down and give them to Abby when she gets back.
Just a comment and the fact that when we move more towards the digital, that allows us greater flexibility so we can respond
Right.
more quickly as trending dictates.
Yeah, and the demographics are moving that way anyway, so it's the place we need to move more and more to. And even though some of the traditional stuff is important that we maintain that presence, with the resources we do have, we got to put more and more into the digital effort. Any other questions or? Okay, thank you for not asking any more. If we could move now and talk to the financial side, Alicia?
Good morning. So I'll just go over a few kind of some updates. So I just got notice as of this morning. We have completely closed out the PayCar F grant, so we did get final payment for that. We have also submitted the operating budget to DFA, so that was submitted on May 1st, and that's the budget that will be getting hopefully approval from the commissioners today. I've sent out an RFP. We're working on getting some Colorado auditors. The cycle is moving to Colorado now, so we'll be with Colorado for anywhere from 3 to 6 years. So they'll be the one completing our audit. That's pretty much all the catch up that I have. So I'm just gonna go into the financial sections, and the first set of financials is the historic preservation fee. So this is a fairly quiet, not too much traffic going through the HPA. The balance sheet, the total assets represent about an increase from prior year. So the increase is primarily driven by the growth in the total current assets, specifically coming from the intercompany transfers, which account for the 7% historic preservation fee from operating revenue and CTO. Our total liabilities have a minimal increase from prior year, and this concludes the balance sheet with our total liabilities marking an overall increase from prior year. Going on to the P&L statement for HPA, we do observe a rise in total income compared to previous years. This increases significantly in the growth in the HPA derived from operational revenue. Although our total expenses have decreased significantly from prior year, and this is just following the completion of the historic car building, so we don't see as much of those expenses going through HPA, and this reflects an increase from prior year for our our net income. On the commission, the balance sheet remains strong, so we do see an increase from prior year in our total assets. This is primarily from the bank accounts and the intercompany transfers. Our total liabilities have also increased from prior year, and again, this is due to our intercompany transfers. This concludes the balance sheet with our total liabilities totaling an increase from prior year, and the P&L statement, it does reflect an increase in income from prior year, so this is primarily due to license plate fee income. So I know everybody's pretty familiar with that, but you can buy our license plates and we get some profit from that. And also our increase from the general fund support coming from New Mexico. So we do show a decrease in our expenses from prior year. So this is payroll expenses, professional fees, and that concludes the commission's P&L, and we can conclude that the NOI and our NI have increased from prior year. CTO is a little bit heavier. There's a lot more activity going in CTO, but our balance sheet shows that our total assets have decreased from prior year. So as you review the CTO balance sheet, again, those intercompany transfers have decreased, so we have been doing those intercompany transfers, and it really does it looks pretty good on the balance sheet. the prepaids and the inventories. Our total liabilities for CTO have increased. So again, it's those intercompany transfers. We're doing a lot of reconciliation on those. And that concludes the balance sheet with a decrease in our total liabilities and equities. The P&L statement for CTO reflects an increase in income from prior year, and this is primarily due to the operational revenue. So we did see an increase in that in the fiscal year from prior year alcohol sales, and our total expenses decreased from prior year as well. So our payroll expenses, supplies and services, G&A, and utilities, and that results in a increase in our NOI and our NI from prior year. The last and most important one is the capital. So the balance sheet stays pretty strong as we continue to spend down the capital projects. But right now we'll start seeing, as we transition to operations, that will change just a little bit. But that pretty much concludes all that I have to go over today. If there's any questions for me, concerns, comments.
I don't have any. I just, again, appreciate how you deal with all the complexities of our accounting system, having to deal with two states and capital from two states and ARPA funds and on and on and on. So, thank you and your
Thank
team.
you, Mark.
My turn again?
Your turn again?
Thank you. I'm not going to take a lot of time just to summarize a few things. I think you've got a pretty good snapshot of where we sit at the moment. Obviously, it's a really busy time as we ramp up to run trains here in the next few days. So a lot of activity going on, some of it not necessarily visible, but a lot of things going on right now. I guess I would say, because someone's going to ask me anyway, is what's your ridership goals for this coming year? We had some pretty good progress last year. We carried 34,500 during the regular season, which was up from 30,000 the year before. We're setting our sights on a 5% increase for this year. That'll take us to about 36,200. Obviously, we're going to be shooting for more than that if we can do it. But to set the stage, that's where we're putting our target right now, and we're building our budgetary framework around that number. Going through the various components, I do want to reiterate what's going on in fire mitigation, particularly because of the season that we could be facing. It's I think our winter snow up on Cumbres was less than half of normal, somewhere around 40%. So the spring runoff has been pretty thin, which obviously highlights the fire danger. We will be very, very cautious as we approach the startup, utilizing our oil burning locomotives pretty much exclusively, and also the remaining components of the fire operating plan. The work that Marvin is doing, I don't think what he said doesn't show the magnitude of it. When he went into the project, he really went in and delved not just from going after specific items that everybody thought. He actually engaged the scientists, the Forest Service personnel, the BLM people, before we even got to the point where we could get in there and do some of the actual mitigation work. And he's also utilized the funding, I think, very well to augment some of the on-track and movable equipment, because that's going to be critical as well. I think we're in a better shape than we were in 2022 when we had that other fire threat or worry. The Forest Service is obviously going to be anxious as well, so we're going to be working closely with them. So as we move towards that, a lot of emphasis is going to be placed on not only being ready to run trains, but being able to run trains and not increase our fire danger exposure. A lot of the other stuff has already been covered. I think one of the pieces that I would like to talk to is the support from the states. When we talk about the commission budget, which we'll be bringing up a little bit later. We did receive the funding that we asked for. So essentially the commission funding, which is essentially almost entirely through appropriated money, is secure. The lingering problem with commission budget, as it's become more and more the case, is that the costs of insurance, which is the property insurance, which is borne by the commission since it owns the property, continues to escalate faster than we can generate more revenue to cover it. So it's going to become a bigger and bigger challenge going forward. But we have a balanced budget for you to consider a little bit later. But it's going to be another step next year to try to keep up with commission costs. Beyond that, we did not receive the full funding in the capital side in New Mexico. We've applied for some additional funding through other sources. That's probably going to be a work in progress for some time as the system essentially takes the legislative portion first, and then we go through some of these other potentials after the fact. So more to come as we work through that process. In Colorado's got some real challenges in funding. We had some real fears that we wouldn't be funded or wouldn't be fully funded. But thanks to the efforts of our specialists up there and the opportunity to build some relationships during the legislative session, we did receive the funding that was requested. So it's never as much as we would like. It doesn't include some of the inflationary pieces that we were looking for, but it is approved, and it's now on a cycle where it should be easier to defend. So we're hopeful that we can keep going on that side as well with the funding, which supports all of our capital operations. Other than that, we're just on a race to the finish line, pretty much like what will happen at Churchill Downs this afternoon. Any questions, please? No questions?
I don't.
You don't?
I think it was a great explanation.
Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you. Local affairs?
No news is good news. I think the communities are a little on edge. I think everybody's a little on edge with this fire thing, but rest assured that we're doing everything that we can to make sure that we run trains, so that's not going to be an issue this year. We have a really nice, robust season this year, complementing both sides of the railroad. We've got some dinner trains, 2 dinner trains coming out of Antonito, our geology trains, the Friends Wine train, of course the 4th of July train. I know that the village has a huge celebration scheduled for this year, and we're happy to be a part of it by running our 4th of July train. So I think it's going to be a good year, and I think the community's looking forward to supporting us as we're looking forward to supporting them as well.
Good.
Any comments on not running on Memorial Day?
Oh, no, actually not.
I think we confused them because I think they think Memorial Day is the 31st.
Yeah. So opening day this year is May 31st. We have a staff of managers and supervisors that May 24th was just not going to work. I think we have 17 managers, and 14 either have children or grandchildren graduating from high school or college. So we just didn't feel like we could open the railroad without all of our key personnel in place. So we're going to delay it a week, and I think we're talking about maybe doing a display in the yard for Memorial Day. So we'll do something. We just won't be running trains that day. But I haven't had
Nothing
anybody
negative about it.
no.
And the actual season will run just as many days.
Right.
We've extended it on the back end.
So the community will not won't lose that week of opportunity to make money, which is crazy math, but we'll make it work.
Questions, comments? Thank you. Capital projects?
I'd like to start off by thanking both Colorado and New Mexico for the capital funding. Capital funding provides the funds for people to work through the winter, to repair locomotives, to do the car work, and take care of the track. And we're going to get roughly $1 million from New Mexico and a little over $1 million from Colorado. The governors have signed both those appropriation bills. And so, we're just going to say thank you to both states for the appropriation they did provide. That will help us tremendously as we move into this next year that begins July 1st. And the shop staff, Marvin gave a good update on the status of the locomotives and the cars. I've seen the new coach. It looks wonderful. 526. I'm looking forward to going and riding it, Marvin. So it looks great. Marvin mentioned Long Creek. There's a culvert that has to be repaired at Long Creek. That will be a rather expensive repair on the order of $800,000. If we don't do that, we risk cutting the railroad in two. So that comes out of the capital budget, and so that will utilize a fairly large portion of our capital this coming year. So John Matthews and his folks will be managing that project. And it's critical for us to get that done and keep the railroad moving. So, just my update.
Questions? Thank you. Tracks across borders.
Tracks across borders. Give me the headphones while you do that. Oh, yeah. I'm listening to myself, which I always enjoy doing. Yeah, my boiler is getting old
It's not your boiler, it's your running gear.
Yeah, true.
Springer gave you a little stiff.
Well, thank you for allowing me to give an update. We've actually been very busy since the last commission meeting. We've had some good progress. What I handed to the commission, and I can get for anybody else that's interested, is we have a new trifold brochure, which replaces the rack card we've had for years. I have to give a shout out to the Durango and Silverton, which paid for the cost of the new trifold. I gave the commission copies. I have some back here in a little stand if anybody is interested in having one. It's got a much better map, a little itinerary. It's got the QR codes for our application, for our tour application, which we thank Coomers and Toltec for. So anyway, that's one thing. We are trying hard to get our new sponsorship program off the ground, and I also passed out our little sponsorship package. Again, if anybody's interested in the audience, I can get you a copy of that. So we're hoping we will, over some time, get a few businesses or organizations that are willing to help sponsor us, so we can do some more work like additional interpretive signs and a whole range of projects we'd like to perform. But we do have another interpretive sign that's going to go in at Juanita as soon as the weather is good, and I think we're getting close. Archuleta County's agreed to put that in. We are going to get a border sign on County Road 551, which is the road from Navajo to Dulce. The state wanted a border sign there, so they're paying for it, and the county has agreed to install it once we get it. We've been pretty active in getting our word out to people. We had a display at the TICO train show in Colorado Springs and at the Rocky Mountain train show in Denver. Thanks to the friends who let us piggyback on their little booth. We participated yesterday actually in Narrow Gauge Day at the Durango and Silverton, had a booth there or a table there, passed out the new trifolds and that sort of thing. So again, trying to move forward and get the word out about TAB. We're still haven't got any resolution about replacement of the stock cars in Dulce. We have been talking to the owner of the RV park here in Chama, but so far nothing firm has fallen into place. That would probably be the best source of stock cars that are in relatively decent condition. So that's where we are on tab. We are still meeting monthly, and we do appreciate all of the support we've been getting from the Cumberson Toltec and Durango and Silverton and the Friends. Questions?
John, just a comment. The interpretive sign that's at the bridge over the Piedra at Navajo Reservoir, that's a very nice sign. It's very nice.
Well, thank you. Yeah,
Good location.
I have to thank Colorado DOT for that. They paid for the design and the printing of that sign, as well as the one at Juanita, although the installation will be done by the county. The sign at the Watchable Wildlife Area and the park was actually installed without charge by the park. So we go hat in hand, and so far we've been doing pretty well, but we would like to get at least somewhat of a continuous source of income, so we can begin to plan a little farther ahead. We're kind of doing it one step at a time, and there's certainly some additional interpretive signs that we could put in both New Mexico and Colorado. We're also working on trying to get the historic marker at the Continental Divide on 6484 replaced. If you've seen it, you can barely read it even up close. So that's another thing we've been working with the state of New Mexico on. So anyway, been very busy. Anything else?
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Rick, your turn in the barrel.
Well, good morning, everyone. I'd like to thank Tim Tennant for his years of service. I'm his replacement. I've been on duty since February 15th, so I'm still a newbie in the saddle. So I hope to fill his shoes and then some for everybody. On my agenda topics today from the Friends, our season is opening up as well, and I submitted a list of volunteer sign-ups as of the time that we printed this, which was yesterday, for different sessions. Now, I'm not going to take and read all of this. There was yesterday, and I can submit electronic. There's the different sessions report in detail that was covered yesterday, so I'm not going to go through and read all of this today. But the list of friends that are volunteering for these sessions. So we got special session 1-3 signups, session A 15, B 7, special session 2, which is a contract. So that's no volunteers needed other than a supervisor, which will be John Engs to supervise the contractor. Session C is 43. That's the big one down here. Session D, we have 28. Special session 4, which is also contract, that's going to be painting. That's John Engs. Session E, volunteer signups, 11. Session F, 11. And session G, 14. As you all know, Rich Muth, our long-term existing docent team leader, has retired from the Friends. And his job, thank you, Rich, his job is being split between John Porco and Tom Stewart as co-leads for docent leaders. Returning docents that are registered so far this season, at this point it's 14. All 14 have already had their required sensitivity training and are ready to go. New registered docents this season, we have 2 that will be joining us so far, and their training will be done before they report in for duty. Docents that have qualified for complimentary free rides based on understandings at this point is 18. Our membership level. Memberships is currently standing at 1815. Memberships are increasing right now with the spring coming on for us. As memberships come up for renewal, we're on a rotating schedule, so it's not a January through December. It's if you signed in January, that's when it's due. If you signed in April, that's when it's due. So a lot of our memberships are starting to come in as a renewal. We expect that number to rise. The reporting period between January through March, we had 28 new members that signed in, and we're looking to see how do we get the new members that we didn't have as a reoccurring member. And 3 came from social media, 3 came from trade shows that we're doing, and 22 from other sources, from magazines, etc. The number of renewing existing memberships at that point was 82. Friends outreach activity, and this is a big broad brushing topic. How do you get your message out, and where do you do it? So the Friends are currently going through, under my direction, a review of all of our outreach media. And that includes print, which has been historically every quarter, the Dispatch, the nice printed magazine that's either 20 or 24 page issue, which we will continue with. We have Dispatch Extra, which is an electronic version scaled down, but it's more contemporaneous, comes out roughly every 4 to 5 weeks electronically. We have the social media, which consists to me of our website, which has been somewhat stagnant in the past and needing of a refreshment. We are in the process of refreshing our website, getting more contemporaneous information front and center on it, better use of the tabs, better product information, better placement. And then that brings in the social media on a more local level. Facebook, YouTube, and to some degree, Instagram. So what we have done is I have directed certain people to take care of certain projects specifically. So Facebook, Instagram, YouTube is Kathleen Walzer. She focuses in on this. We've got the Dispatch Extra, which is Ian Kelly. We have the Printed Dispatch, which is Christopher James, and we never really had a webmaster, and that Tim Tennant filled that in as need be, the best he could. So today what I have directed is that we have made Ian Kelly our webmaster. So the intent is, and we're starting to pull this together, it's a lot of pieces to pull together between different sources. Everything will come from different channels up into a web format, because everything is being elected directly electronically for efficiency of cost and efficiency of getting the message out better. And Ian Kelly has agreed to be our web maestro. I hate to use the word master, maestro, he's our maestro. So, and what we're doing is we're reviewing everything that we've got. Everything that's static, everything that's in, everything that should be in, and everything that's in that's got to get out. So, and that's a big process, but we're pleased to say we have process doing this. Activity, as a result, of the spring activity, that comes normally anyway, but it's up over 15% on our website. I like to say it's because they like our new website. It's not there yet. It's a work in process. But it's the spring activity. So we're pleased that it is a positive number. Facebook is up by 3%. There's a lot of Facebooking going on. And we hope to have better Facebook presence and better web pages, mini web pages into the Facebook. YouTube viewing has increased. I don't actually have the percentage number right now, I'm sorry. We're looking to get other contributors of YouTube videos sent in to us so we can take and edit them down and get them posted. Right now we're dependent upon our existing friends and some other associates to give us YouTube video for us to use. But we need additional input. We need YouTube from other sources. So we're looking, seeking, accepting. So the message is out. The Friends Complimentary Dispatch, which I passed out to the members this morning. The 8.5 by 11, 8-page mini dispatch. I successfully got 3,000 copies printed. at a fabulous price of 45 cents. I consider that a coup. With what the normal dispatch, the 24 or 28 page dispatch that you also have, which just hit the streets now, that is our spring version and also celebrates the 100 years of the K36 series locomotive, nicely done by Chris James and staff. Thank you very much, Chris. That runs about $2.22 per copy, and that's a bargain right now. The cost of printing is just gotten atrocious. But that's the way it is. So this is why we're trying to shift more focus into electronic media. Written, electronic. Web camera system at Chama. Yes, we know it has been down. I get so many calls on this. I never knew coming in as a newbie how many people casually wanted just a mouse in and look at the Chama yards. Well, there's a lot of them, as you all probably know, and I am finding out. But we've been down due to broken, antique, and vintage hardware architecture. So Tom Stewart, who actually is sitting here, thank you very much, Tom, has agreed to take and do a Band-Aid approach just to get us up and running as quickly as we can with the existing architecture in place. The board has authorized Tom to replace, in the long run, all the hardware and the architecture system for the web system at Chama with new. So two-pronged. One, get the old one back up and running so people can mouse around and go, oh, there it is. And B, get a better web system for the Chama yards. That is already in place. The special charter trains. This year, the Friends will have 3 special charter trains. We have our annual members train with a barbecue at the Outlaw, followed by the return to Cumbres, and that'll be held on June 20th. Moonlight and Wine train for the Friends. We are going to feature New Mexico wines, and it'll be catered dinner at Osier. We're going to have a filet and salmon as the main courses. Moonlight ride hopefully will be better this year for the return back. Last year we were running in and out of cloud cover and some light rainstorms, and the moon graciously made its appearance just before pulling into the Chama yard. That'll be held on August 2nd. The fall after season train charter, this is a photo charter. It'll consist of 2-day run. It's back-to-back days of hardcore vintage photography with numerous photo run-by stops at various locations. And it's going to run from first day will be on October 26th. It's going to run from Chama to Antonito. And on the second day, which will be October 27th, it will run from Antonito back to Chama. Ed, thank you very much for all of your staff's help in pulling this gargantuan, and I will use the word gargantuan correctly, effort. It's deeply appreciated.
You're welcome.
This is an election year for our board of directors of the Friends. This year there are 7 existing director seats that are up for renewal. Technically it's 8. Returning directors will be Jim Herron, Bill Locke, John Farrell, Ian Kelly, Tom Stewart, and Steve Jorgensen. The non-returning director this year will be Frank Higgins. The board has decided not to fill that seat at this point, so out of the 8 seats, that's half of the board are rotating in. 7 will be up for renewal, and the balloting material is being printed and will be going out on Monday. The required balloting is going out. HPCC meetings, we just concluded them yesterday. Thank you very much. And the commission meetings today. The next HPCC is scheduled, according to my notes, on Friday, August 1st. And the next commission meeting is scheduled for August 2nd, and this to take place in Antonito, Colorado. And that is all I had so far. Thank you very much. Is there any questions from the commission or staff?
I was just curious, there was talk a while ago about webcams in Antonito. I think that was kind of a think about it stage, and I'm sure my readers would kind of be curious to know where that stands.
You are correct. It was a discussion point, and it's an item that we wish to pursue. However, we want to take a step-by-step process. We want to get Chama, A, fixed with the Band-Aid, B, get a permanent fix in Chama with new system, new architecture, new system, new internet connections, and Tom Stewart's gracious enough to be doing this for us. And then after that is up, then we'll focus on Antonito. And yes, it's been talked about, and yes, we actually have cost proposals, and we have timeline proposals, but we are limited in qualified personnel that are available to make it so. And again, thank you, Tom Stewart. We have a body stretcher here.
There you have it, readers. Now you know what's going on.
That's the answer. So yes, it's in the future.
Thank you.
Tom.
I just want to address the point. Rick has been on the job since February. Lots to know, lots to learn. He's been actually really helpful with a whole bunch of things, the communications, the outreach. He's really bringing a lot to the table. So if you don't know him yet, get to know him better. He takes a little while to get to know him, but no, he's doing a great job. Just so you'll know, we're really comfortable with where he's at.
Great, thank you.
Well, thank you. We're all partners in this together.
Absolutely, and please pass our greatest thanks on to the Friends membership, because what your organization achieves is just gigantic. Looking at all the volunteers that you've got coming over this upcoming season, you get so much work done, work that the railroad would never be able to do. So thank you.
We're fortunate that we have not totally aged out yet. Yes, I can say that. I think a lot of us are over a certain age threshold, to say that safely. But we're fortunate that the volunteers, both senior and existing returning, are coming back and being able to come back for the most part. Our docents are coming back. We're constantly looking for fresh volunteers and fresh docents. That is probably one of the hardest searches that there is. But it's a search that must go on, and that's why we're doing extended outreach through train shows, multimedia. It's, there's just nowhere, you just don't know where you're going to find it. So you just have to keep pushing to get yourself out there to go looking. So that is my mission.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anything else? New business. Can I get a motion to approve or disapprove the FY26 commission budget?
So
Second.
Moved by Mark, seconded by Kim. Kim, yay or nay?
Yes.
Mark?
yes.
Scott?
Yes.
Billy? Yes. Motion approved to accept FY26 commission budget. Do we have anything under old business? Mr. V. Hill, I do have an email that Abby forwarded to me that we will be considering after the FY, so after July. Do we have anything for executive session?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
You're
I have
supposed to
nothing.
say,
Oh, I don't think so.
there you go.
Sorry.
Does anybody have anything
Right
else?
answer.
Comments, questions, derogatory or otherwise? Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The meeting of the Coomers and Toltec Scenic Road Commission is adjourned at
Is this a record?
I think so.
55.
9:55.
A new record, Billy.
It's close.
It's close. It's
It's
not
close.
a record. I think we did 43
I
one
think we
time.
did 43
Oh,
one
okay.
time.